My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do, and that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Heston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Heston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Heston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently a Heston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU. My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do, and that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted.
I'm greater than bullying.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
And welcome, everyone, to Oswald Field here on the campus of Heston College. Rusty Witcher alongside Dr. Phil Miller. Hi, Phil.
How's it going, Russ?
Doing well, man. We have games 3 and 4 of this 4-game set, weather permitting. There's a chance of some rain storms this afternoon, but you never know what you're going to get in Kansas.
Man, we could really use that rain, though.
Yeah.
I'd hate to rain out a ball game, but at this point,
the old adage is, if you don't like the weather in Kansas, wait 15 minutes. It's true.
I thought it was 10.
15.
Yeah, you don't have to wait very long. Let's put it that way. It will change.
It will. The Blue Knights in town for games 3, game 4. The Larks and the Blue Knights split yesterday. Larks winning the first game 11-10, and then losing the second 13-3. And they are going to be running the John Law today.
We're being asked what the starting lineups are.
We're going to get
today.
to those right now. All right.
We'll give them to you.
Yeah. For Dakota County Technical College, leading off the game, playing shortstop, Bradley Goulet. Left fielder, number 44, Nolan Bayer. Designated hitter, Travis Schmidt, bats third. Caleb Zoda plays first base, batting fourth. Trent Fredenberg, the third baseman, batting fifth, with Dylan Bergstad, the right fielder, in the sixth hole. Batting seventh, catcher Ian Walker, with Marcus Basadi batting eighth, playing second base, and Mike Bonatka rounding out the order on the hill for Dodge. I'm going to call him Dodge, stuck at a D now. Dakota County Technical College is Jake Wensman.
Oh, man. Yeah, Dakota County Tech.
Right.
Let's get that clarified.
The Blue Knights, right.
From around the Minneapolis Twin Cities area up in Minnesota.
Defensively for the Larks, in right field, Cooper Morgan, Kyler Reinhardt in center, and Josh Stivers in left. David Burzen's getting the nod at third base. Nick Platten and Logan Dryden up the middle at short and second, with Joel Ogletree over at first base. Jeremy Deckinger behind the dish, and John Law on the mound. And Phil, you might even have some numbers with Johnny Law, the marshal.
I do. Give me a second to bring those back up.
While you bring those up, there are three different ways to contact us today. Well, Jasmine's not here. She is unfortunately at a memorial service with a dear friend of her family. So thoughts and prayers to Jasmine, her friends, and her family. So there are 3 ways to contact us. First, you can text us at 620-217-1465. Again, that number 620-217-1465.
That'll get us right up here in the booth.
Yeah. Yep. You can also email us to golarks@heston.edu. GOLARKS@heston.edu. Phil's manning the live chat today.
So it's going to be an adventure since I have never ever done this before.
So if you're watching
this could be interesting.
You're watching the game through the YouTube client, through YouTube rather than the Heston website.
It's my fault.
You can talk right with Phil. Questions, comments, feedback. You want to know about Heston College. Both of us went to Heston College. Both of us attended Heston College. Phil played baseball. I grilled.
I mean, we won't say how long ago it was, but it's been a while.
Within like the last 5 years or longer.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was recent? Is that a good way to describe it?
Define recent.
Less than 3 decades.
I can hand if that's recent. That's good recent. Good and recent. Good and recent. So Phil, you got the numbers on John Law pitching.
I do. I actually was able to bring him up here. This is going to be his 5th start on the year, Russ. He's unfortunately 0-2. He's given us 18 innings pitched. He's actually got a complete game in there, so the marshal can go the distance if he needs to. He's got 17 strikeouts on the year, and to go along with that, he's given up only 9 earned runs. So there you go.
That's not too bad. And how many appearances did you say? 4?
4.
9 earned runs in 4 appearances.
4 appearances. 4 games started, too.
Yeah.
With 18 innings pitched, 9 earned runs is at this level, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so he's got an ERA of 4.42.
Yep.
Larks have ERAs that are all over the place.
They do, because if you actually go and look at the stats, you're going to see there's runs and then there's earned runs.
That's right.
There's a big difference there.
Fielding woes have plagued the Larks all season long,
and they know that. They're aware of that. They're working on it, but luckily the Larks have the bats to be able to erase a lot of those errors. Russ.
Yeah, they can hit a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is. I was trying to say this is Dakota County's 4th game of the season. They started out on a
5th game.
5th game. That too. Hey,
yeah.
Math is hard.
They played 2 on, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday?
Up at U.S. Bank Stadium at 4 in the morning.
Isn't that's such a wild time to go play a ball game?
That's kind of like
why
NBC
not?
baseball, the National Baseball Congress down in Wichita.
It is.
When they used to do their baseball around the clock. I was up at 4 in the morning watching.
They still
baseball.
do that.
They don't do around the clock anymore.
Well, they call it round the clock.
But they don't quite do it anymore.
Well, they don't quite just play nonstop baseball.
Yeah, no, they don't. No,
the last couple of years, the NBC is they've had the Kansas Stars come out with guys like Chipper Jones and
Adam LaRoche.
I
saw Roy Halladay pitch last year.
You went and saw Halladay?
Saw Halladay pitch.
I am struggling to remember who I saw pitch. But it's all guys you've heard of all of them. It's really cool to watch, and they get beat sometimes. Yeah. They don't win every game.
They do.
It's kind of funny.
So the Marshal on the hill for the Larks.
Looking for some baseball justice today, I think.
I like it. Again, you guys can text us, 620-217-1465. Drop us a line at golarks@heston.edu or Phil's in the live chat. We're kind of both in the live chat. You can direct your questions to me.
That's right.
Or Phil, whatever you'd like to know.
Yeah, you don't have to just communicate with me or anything like that. But I'll check it periodically. I'm not going to be on there, super constantly.
Right.
I've got my work cut out for me because I'm trying to keep track of innings, balls and strikes, runners for you guys.
I wouldn't even worry about balls and strikes. Just pay attention to the outs. I said the count enough that we should be good. Unless you want to, I'm
going to give it a shot.
Okay, he's up for the challenge. I like that.
If all of a sudden it stops, it's because I've just given up.
That's why he is Dr. Phil.
Yes.
So last pitch coming up. Bradley Goulet leading things off for the Blue Knights of Dakota County Technical College. He plays shortstop. He was a fixture at short all day yesterday.
He did a great job over at shortstop yesterday. Made a couple terrific plays for the Blue Knights. So
really had a good game in Game 2, going 2 of 3. Scored 3 runs.
He did.
Drew a walk.
He had a rough first game at the bat, but then
turned it up and
redeemed himself.
We are in another wind advisory, folks. So we're going to see gusts of over 40 miles an hour and sustained winds 25 plus all afternoon.
What? It's windy today?
It's windy.
I didn't notice.
Someday we're going to get a nice day, and I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
Not here.
So John Law will work out of the windup facing Bradley Goulet, and the first pitch from John Law, bunt laid down, rolls foul, and Burzen smothers it over there in foul territory for a strike.
Quick strike. Not a bad idea, though, for Goulet. He's got some speed, it looks like.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not put one down the line?
Give it a shot. Why not? Test the Larks' defense early. They've been known to commit a few errors.
As a guy who used to bunt to get on every so often, it's a fun thing to do. Catch them off guard.
I could bunt. I just couldn't get on. The 0-1 coming up. That's high and tight for ball one, and the count 1-1 strike.
Well, it's. I'm not sure how many guys actually practice proper form and things like that with bunting these days, but
I know
it is a technical skill.
There's a pitch on the outside corner, fastball right down the pipe, outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and John likes that call. Both pitchers are going to like that call all afternoon.
Well, it was right on the black. That was a good pitch.
The 1-2, and it fouled off.
Did that catch the umpire?
I don't know if it
I
did.
think it did. Yeah, it did. So was that a foul, right?
Yeah, it was foul ball. It was off the bat and up and in.
I'm asking so I keep the count right.
Still 1-2.
But yeah, the umpire took a shot to the chest there, I believe.
Looks like he's okay.
Yep.
So we'll have another 1-2 delivery from John.
I feel like he's done this before.
John's going to Tarleton State next year to be a 2A guy. Big curveball just misses.
It did. That was a good pitch.
And Goulet was almost buckled on that, too.
That was a good place to miss if you're going to miss on a 1-2 count.
And the count now 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Big curve. Goulet fouls it off towards the Dakota County bus, but it's going to cross College Drive to the west.
And the bus is parked just in the right spot over there on the street, so that's probably not going to get hit by foul balls. But
I've seen stranger things happen.
I have, and cars take a risk if they park along the street here.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Goulet chases the fastball in the outer half, and he is retired for the first out, bringing up Nolan Bayer.
That was a nice pitch there by the law bringer. Or something. The Marshall?
The Marshall. As John deals. There's a line drive out to right field, dropping in for a base hit. Cooper going back, gloves it, and Nolan Bayer, first pitch swinging, has a single.
That was a good job by Coop to get over there, though.
He covered a little bit of ground over there.
He did.
And that brings up Travis Schmidt, who was a thorn in the Lark side yesterday, had a pair of bombs. A bunch of runs driven in.
And that was in the wind yesterday.
The wind. Loves hitting here, apparently.
Apparently. He really likes putting it down the line.
John deals. Fastball right down the pipe for strike one. And
come on. There we go.
Deckinger had the throw sail over John's head a little bit.
It's the wind. It's the wind. Yep.
It can play all kinds of havoc with you.
Throwbacks get thrown off and things get crazy.
Fly ball up in the wind, going to tail towards right
adventure.
field. Cooper going back. Now he'll have to cover some ground, makes the catch. Cooper started to his right, had to come back to his left.
He did. And you saw him. He had to come back to his left about 15 feet or so.
Clouds rolling in, so that's going to make the fly balls a little bit of an adventure, too. I saw weather forecast. We're going to be high of 63 and mostly cloudy all afternoon.
Well, fly balls are already an adventure here anyways, trying to pick up the ball off of this gray background that we have with the cement seats.
Runner goes. Jeremy's throw. Not quite in time, and Nolan Bayer steals the base.
There we go. So Bear's showing some wheels.
Give a quick check. No emails, no texts. We had one person in the live chat earlier. And the 1-0 coming up for, this is Caleb Zoda.
Yes.
Zoda caught the first game. DH the second. Now he's playing first this one.
There's a strike.
It takes a strike from John Law.
I'll get that count going eventually.
It's a little tricky sometimes.
It's a little tricky. I'm keeping a rudimentary book as well, so.
I've got a good book, so we're good. Between the two of us, we have it covered. The 1-1. Tapper up the middle. Platten goes back on his heels, throws across, and just gets.
There we go.
Zoda by a step. Zoda showing off some wheels right there. So we've played a half inning coming to bat for the Larks. We won't even take a break this time. We'll go through.
No break?
We'll go through all the lineup. For the Larks, Ryan Morrissey to lead things off as the DH. Logan Dryden bats second, plays second. Josh Stivers in left field bats third, with Jeremy Deckinger in the cleanup spot. Joe Ogletree is batting fifth, followed by Cooper Morgan. Nick Platten bats seventh, plays shortstop. David Burzen batting eighth, playing third base. And Kyler Reinhardt rolls that order over from the center field spot and the 9-hole. Defensively, for Dakota County, out in left field, Bayer, Von Outcup patrols center, and Bergstad getting the nod today in right field. Trent Fredenberg at the hot corner, third base. Goulet and Biasotti up the middle with Zoda at first. We mentioned that already. Walker is behind the dish, and Jake Wensman on the mound for the Blue Knights in their road grays today. You look confused.
Oh, no, I had to text my wife to go pick up some drugs, prescriptions. For me. I realized this morning, I was like, oh no, I'm out of this.
So
I need more.
Morrissey to lead things off here in the bottom of the first.
I've got some numbers on Mr. Morrissey there. Hitting 447 on the year, Russ. That's not too shabby.
He's been tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, he has. It's pretty good. On base percentage above 500 at 574.
And you know Ryan comes to bat because he hammers the plate with a bat on his routine. And a quick pitch from Wensman low for a ball.
Just thumps that plate.
Wensman with a quick little delivery.
Well, yeah,
that one misses downstairs, and the count now 2 balls, no strikes.
Almost like a catcher snap throw. can be hard to pick up.
Almost a three-quarter slot delivery, and there's a strike for the fastball.
I mean, if you watch him, he hides that ball until the last second. So as a
Very
hitter, you don't have much time to pick it up.
The 2-1, Morrissey on the ground at second baseman, Biasotti. Biasotti throw over to Zoda, and there's one Lark out here. And that brings up Logan Dryden. As we're in the bottom of the first, no score. One hit in the top of the first for the Blue Knights.
Logan coming into the game hitting .350, on base percentage of .480. And these stats are updated through yesterday. So these are the most current you're going to get for your Larks.
So Logan steps in, and the first pitch is outside. The ground, the buzz isn't quite as bad today. It's there.
Well, it's there. Maybe it's because I'm resting my hand and grounding the.
I would think so.
The laptop.
That pitch downstairs, and Logan quickly ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. We got to figure out a way to ground that laptop properly.
My computer's not here creating interference.
That's true too. There's a pitch on the inner half for a strike, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Logan. On the ground, up the middle, takes a hop into center field. Ball took a hop just away from Goulet, enough for a single. Goulet was trying to cover some ground and just kind of enough spin, spun away into center field. The Larks have their first run of the game.
Nice little hit there.
Josh Stivers coming up.
Yeah, nice little hit for Logan.
Yeah. CNI single up the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Stivers, 12 RBI on the year, already has a home run, .492 on base percentage. So there's a 50-50 shot, basically, he gets on base here.
And Josh steps in.
Slugging .608. Holy smokes.
Little changeup misses upstairs, and the count 1 ball, no strikes.
That's a healthy slugging percentage, too.
Yeah. Larks have some sticks.
They do.
We've established that. The 1-0 coming up. Josh with a very healthy swing.
He was not cheated.
No. You know, Phil, something I'm noticing, and I've noticed this with a lot more hitters these days in college, I almost think that hitters are opening themselves. They stride more towards short rather than back towards the pitcher.
Well, let me take a look.
And the 1-1 coming up. As Wensman moves over, throws back to keep Logan close. Logan's probably a threat to steal.
I think there's been a little bit of a move here in the last few years in baseball towards trying to hit extra base hits and things like that more than just make contact.
But I was always a proponent of striding right towards the pitcher. And the 1-1. And not going down in the bucket. That one stays downstairs, and the count 2 balls, 1 strike.
I mean, your standard hitting form, you would take a nice step right towards.
Or even lifting up and putting down back towards the pitcher. But I've seen more and more hitters these days opening up and going to the proverbial bucket. And the 2-1. Josh misses. Runner goes. Logan slips under with a slide of.
That was great.
Non-Olympic proportions.
The slide worked, though. I'll give him credit. He got around the tag. The throw was in time.
Yeah, and got around. I mean, he's not going to get very many points on the dismount.
No. He gets points deducted on the dismount.
Yeah.
But he gets credit for the steal.
Not Olympically pretty. And Logan Dryden now in scoring possession. Josh
the landing
has
was
a count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The dismount or the landing? How about his landing?
Didn't exactly stick it, but it worked for
it works.
Safe.
Luckily, artistic quality has nothing to do with baseball.
That's right. It's going to go down as a stolen base in the book, and that one misses too high and away.
Runs the count full. So Stivers with a guy in scoring position here has a chance. Maybe put a run up on the board.
Payoff pitch coming up. Too far in. Josh spins his way out of the way, and he'll head to first base. And that brings up Jeremy Deckinger.
Here we go. Deck has .326 average, .442 on base, .419 slugging, 17 RBI, Russ, leading the team.
See that? There's a big hole between Goulet and Fredenberg at third and short.
There's a little bit of a gap there.
Respectively. Wensman working from the side of the rubber, comes too far inside to Jeremy Deckinger.
Yeah.
Go Larks from your softball fans in New Mexico. So we got some softball parents maybe tuning in.
Hey, all right.
They'll be playing today. That's on the ground up the middle. Wensman can't come up with it, kicks it over. Only play to go to first base, pulls the throw off, and they say he's safe.
He beat it.
Zoda was maybe off the bag, hard to say from our angle, but the throw pulled Zoda and twisted him away. Deckinger gets on board, and we'll see what the score. They score that. I think it's going to be. That was a tough play.
Yeah,
Jake Wensman ended up, I mean, the ball was right there. He kicked it towards the hole in second base.
He did.
Got on top of it. Give Wensman credit for being able to get there, but was in such a rush. He pulled Zoda off.
Mm-hmm. And Zoda, I couldn't tell if he got back to the base in time or not.
He was trying.
So the umpire said he did not.
And that brings up Joel Ogletree. The first pitch he sees from Jake Wensman is a strike. And the 0-1 coming up. Too far outside to Joel, and the count evens quickly at a ball and a strike. Wind is
howling.
Screeching.
It's bad. It sounds, I can hear screeching as well. They're screeching
not quite
and howling
gale force, but it's getting close. Too far inside to Joel, and the count now 2 balls, 1 strike.
It can be quite difficult to play a game in this type of wind.
If you guys want to be entertained, get Joel to start laughing. Because it's not a laugh, it's a giggle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he knows it. He laughs
That's
about
great.
it. It's great. Joel shoots one, gap side, right side. Run
go.
coming home. Larks on the board. Joel with a base hit. A second run coming in. And Josh is out by about the month of February.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if Josh tumbled, what happened, if he held up. But Josh was tagged out.
Well, he was easily gunned down, and we had a little bit of a collision there at the plate, but not illegal or anything like that. And now we're left with runners on the corners.
I think Josh was trying to slide and tumbled. I mean, he took the Logan Dryden school of dismount there.
Something like that, yeah.
Sun peeks through very quickly through the clouds. And that brings up Cooper Morgan.
Mr. Morgan hitting .304 on the year, .407 on base percentage. There's
Coop takes a strike. Good pitch from Wensman.
The sun popped out just as he was delivering the ball.
That makes it even tougher because we talked about how good Wensman is at deceiving and hiding that ball
and
coming
then
in.
The sun pops out right at the last minute.
There's the curveball, breaks in for the strike, and Coop quickly behind. 2 balls, or no balls, 2 strikes.
I'm having troubles here. All right. Never mind.
We good? You got the run up, got the outs right. We're good.
There.
Bottom 1. That one misses outside, and the count evens, or moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes, excuse me.
1 and 2. This is crazy. When I put my hand on the laptop, that buzz calms down dramatically.
Grounding. It's grounding. Something's not grounded properly in that. And part of the thing is as that Cooper fouls it back to the fence. We're up here in the press box at Oswald Field, and underneath us through the concrete are all the power through the lights and everything, all the switches. So there's a lot of electromagnetic interference.
Like I believe that includes the scoreboard, the lights,
the
booth.
I mean, to tell you, we're in a small press box. There's 16 outlets.
That's,
Strike 3 called. Cooper goes down looking. And the Larks get a run back. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
we're back.
Okay.
Trying to
You have to
fire
press it
ads.
hard. Now fire ad again. We'll be back after this.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living.
I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. We're top of the second. Phil, nice job on the transitions. You got this figured out.
That was you.
Well, I'm helping. Trent Fredenberg.
I'm
Fly drive, hammers that. That baby is gone if it's fair.
Yep, that's gone.
It is gone. Yep. Trent Fredenberg deposits one over the left field fence. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
It did. He caught a hold of that, I would say.
Yes, he did. Turns on it, and that will be an earned run. We're all tied up at 1.
It's not a...
It's so strange, though, sometimes. You know, Phil, we've seen a lot of home runs on windy days.
Well, if you have the wind blowing straight in, so down the lines, if you hit it right, it's not going to be terribly affected.
Jumped all over that first pitch swinging. And that baby was out of here.
Yes, it was. And there you see why stepping in the bucket might not be a bad thing.
John Law comes back, deals.
A little bit low, it looked like. Oh, I haven't checked the live chat for a while. And nothing. Okay.
John Law battles back.
Yep. Evens the count.
And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. John misses downstairs and away. And the count moves 2 balls, 1 strike. This is Dylan Bergstad, the right fielder.
Yes.
And the 2-1 coming up. Fly ball, that'll tail away in the wind and off the fence and foul.
Evens the count up again. Marshall's back in business.
John shaking off JD. And misses down again. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Tapped foul back to the fence.
That went right between the legs, it looked like.
And Bergstad staying alive.
Nothing? Just staying alive?
Just staying alive.
No
payoff
batter,
pitch.
Box. Okay.
On the ground at Nick Platten.
Oh.
Nick plays the hop, throws across and in time.
Played.
Nick did a great job because that ball had trouble written all over it.
It did. That was a great play by Nick. They're playing some solid defense. Good throw, too. Gathered himself, zipped it across.
And this will bring up Ian Walker.
Yeah, Ian caught the last game last night.
And he takes a strike from John Law.
Did a pretty good job behind the dish, too, I noticed.
Yeah. There's a strike in the knees, and the count now quickly 0-2.
So Marshall looking to work pretty quick here.
Walker calling time.
I think we got some wind.
Yeah.
Blowing. That wind can blow some dust up in your eyes, and it's not too friendly.
The 0-2. On the ground at David Berzins. Berzins bobbles it, throws across, and gets Walker.
Good job by Berzins to stay on that. Some guys could get rattled and try to compound the knocking it down.
And here comes the second baseman, Marcus Biasotti. Two away in the second. We're all tied up at 1 run apiece after the solo shot by Trent Fredenberg.
Nice pitch.
John Law living downstairs.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a changeup. Moving the center fielder over towards right.
Big curve stays upstairs, and that's the attempted curve.
I'd say that's an attempted curve.
It's a new baseball stat we just invented, a
we
metric.
Did. We invented that yesterday.
Attempted curve.
It's a curve that doesn't curve.
John stayed a little bit low with the fastball, and we're 2 balls, 1 strike. Let's foul back to the fence. And we're even 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yep.
And, you know, on foul balls like that, it's funny because I have a theory. If you've played baseball or softball, you see the people who have, they try and make a reach for it. And the people who have not, get out of the way.
Interesting, because I just don't move.
The 2-2, big curveball.
The hook.
Jelly-legging Biasotti. He goes down looking. But a run comes across for Dakota County Technical College. We played an inning and a half, all knotted up at 1. Back after this.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living.
I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Why they don't slide over.
Well, we're back.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. This is Nick Platten coming to bat in the bottom of the second for the Larks. And that one misses outside and low from Wensman.
That's a good eye there by Nick.
There's a pitch right at the knees, lower corner of the zone for a strike. And we're all even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wensman working from the windup. Nick with a healthy swing at the off speed. Wensman took a little bit off, fooled Nick. Nick missing the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball stays outside. Walker can't come up with it. We're even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'll get the count going here.
Jacob Harris showing off his wheels, retrieving the baseball.
Some good moves.
And the 2-2.
Nick Platten hitting 400 on the year, by the way, Russ, with a .520 on-base percentage.
Nick swings, chases, and he'll go back to the dugout after striking out. Second strikeout here by Wensman. That brings up David Berzins.
I believe I jinxed him on that. That's my bad.
It's a thing.
It is.
It's a
totally. Announcers jinx in baseball all the time. We don't mean to.
Wensman deals. That had some tail action back in on against Berzins.
Interesting pitch.
Almost a screwball. The curve breaks in, stays up.
Here's an interesting thing I'm noticing. Most of the guys from Dakota are in short sleeves, acting like this is like summer-like weather.
The 1-1 coming up.
A lot of our guys are in long sleeves.
Bounces away off Walker, and we're 2 balls, 1 strike.
Because, you know, when you're from Minnesota, this is summer-like weather.
2-1 coming up. Wensman deals. Berzins backs out. We count 3 balls, 1 strike as Wensman misses inside. That one misses outside. Berzins draws a walk. Second free pass issued to this afternoon by Wensman, and that brings up Kyler Reinhardt with one out. This pullover I'm wearing is just a little thin.
Oh, I was like, you're also looking confused now.
No, I was looking for my jacket.
The championship jacket, Russ?
Yes, championship of the Lark Open. Phil and I were members of a golf team that won that. That one fouled back as Kyler tried to bunt. That takes place usually the first weekend in June if you're ready to want to help benefit Lark Athletics. Put a golf team together and come play the Heston Golf Course.
It's a fun event.
It's a great event.
There's a couple freebies, things like that. You get
raffle prizes.
Food, I believe.
Have a good time.
And you get to play some golf.
At a very good golf course. The 0-1 coming up. Bunt laid down, and Kyler fouls it off. As that died in foul territory in the batter's box.
That might have been one he would have been better off just taking in the rear.
Wearing it?
Wearing it in the hip. That probably would have been, because that's what would have happened.
So the count 0-2. Wensman deals. Strike three called. Another off-speed breaking ball, curveball, whatever you want to call. Change-up, but it freezes a second Heston hitter. That's his third strikeout, and Ryan Morrissey batting.
So that was a very good pitch there.
Was a great pitch on the 0-2. And Morrissey digging in, pounding the plate one more time. Plate's going to take a beating thanks to Morrissey.
It has been all season so far.
Ryan fouls it back towards the Campus Activity Center.
That wind's been pretty effective here so far. Coach Howell giving some signals. I have no idea what he just called.
Snap throw back. And this is interesting. We mentioned this again. Wynn's been working off the right corner of the rubber the entire time.
Yep, just taking just a little bit of a nub of the corner there. Not in the middle. You'll see probably where he's just most comfortable.
The 0-1. Curveball misses, throw down, and Kyler slipping in. Or excuse me, Berzin slipping in safely on the stolen base.
Nice stolen base by Berzins. So the Lark's not afraid to run either. Especially on a day like today when it's windy right in your face. Catcher, you have to have an absolute laser to get it down there in time.
Count even at 1-1 strike. Wedgman deals. Curveball stays inside.
Yes, it did. I'd say that was probably an attempted curve.
Attempted curve? Another one? Okay.
It didn't really curve.
And the count now at 2-1.
Oh, that was
a curve, but it stayed upstairs, and the count moves 3-1 strike. Drifted a little bit high.
Yep. I was going to say, that was not attempted. That was successful in curving.
Very much so.
Have to finish my thoughts here.
That one misses upstairs. Morrissey aboard, draws the walk.
All right, the Lark's making some noise here with one out.
And that brings up Logan Dryden. And Logan had one of the 2 Lark hits.
Scored last inning.
Stole a base. So he's already had a busy day at the dish. And it's his second trip up there.
In the second inning, that's not too shabby.
We're all tied up 1 run apiece here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs and 2 on for HC.
Ooh.
Berzin dives in. That gets by
no business,
everybody, but not enough. Berzin was still on the ground.
Well, he was
safe.
He kind of had Goulet was on top of him a little bit, so didn't have a chance
I don't know
to
if you give 2 points to Goulet with the takedown there, or
Berzins was helping him out, so I'll give him 1 point. I don't know. I don't know the wrestling term
either.
for what I want to say.
Wensman dealing outside corner to Logan. The count, 1 strike. Good pitch for Wensman.
I'll give Bergens a 1 point
doing a
escape.
good job of locating his off speed and his curveball.
Yeah.
So far, likes to use those a lot.
He's been inconsistent with the location, I would say.
That bunt laid down, push button down third base.
Nice.
Bare hand play. Throw not in
Well
time.
done.
That gets by Zoda. Run coming home. Second one on the way. Morrissey on his horse. Throw coming. And they tag Morrissey out before he gets home. But the Larks do score a run on the bunt single by Burner. We might see an error on that. We'll see what they call.
I'd probably call an error myself.
They're going to give Logan a hit on that.
They give him the hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Berzins comes
There
home.
you go.
Larks take a 2-1 lead. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living. And that's what we do at Heston College. We help people find that special calling, to find out what they were born to be and do, to figure out that purpose that's greater than themselves.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ. I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
There we go.
And welcome back to Oswald Field. You got a text here saying, I'll get to it in just a second.
Eventually.
Go Ryan, Maynard, you're watching in Indiana. We love you.
Yeah, all right.
So this is, scorebook over. This will be Mike Von Outka, the center fielder for Dakota County Tech. And Von Outka takes a strike from John Law.
I believe we got a text about him yesterday.
Yeah. The 0-1. Curveball drops in for the strike. And the count 0-2.
Nice little pitch there by the marshal.
Von Outka batting with sunglasses, I think that would be incredibly difficult. On a day like this when the sun comes and goes and comes and goes.
Maybe they're polarized, so the ball just pops.
There's a little flare out there. Ball pops off the bat, and Logan Dryden can't come up with it. As that ball drops in, Logan going back, and Von Outka aboard with a little bloop single.
Yep, one of those, just stick the bat out and
punched it out
get
there,
a good
got
result.
In the wind, dropped down, didn't hang quite enough for Logan to run underneath it.
And as you can see with balls like that, it's an adventure on a day like today. I mean, you're not going to really know exactly where it's going to end up very easily.
Goulet coming to bat. He struck out in his first at bat. That's a hard shot, right field, base hit. As Von Outka rounding, heading to third. Goulet going to second with the sliding double.
Not a bad hit by Goulet.
No, push Von Outka all the way to third. And we talked about this yesterday, and we'll talk about it again because I think it warrants mentioning.
What's that?
In major college baseball, they did a study not too long ago, I heard this, that the leadoff runner gets aboard and scores 67% of the time.
That's in Division I baseball.
Division I baseball.
NCAA, yep.
Rob Ramsire charted it 1 year in JUCO baseball, and he said it was closer to 71%.
Yep.
Dakota County scored every time they got a leadoff guy on yesterday, I do believe. They did that already once, and now they've got two runners on in scoring position.
So
as
you're
Bayer
saying they're due not to score?
I'm saying that they've done a great job of scoring runs when they get a leadoff man aboard, every time.
I would say what that says, too, is it's key to get that try to
out.
get that first guy on board, or if you're defense, you want to get that first out if you can.
So Bear looks at the curve that stays upstairs, and we're all even at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 stays low from John Law. On the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Lark's up 2-1 here.
It's been an interesting game so far. It's still 2-1, but guys may getting on base, moving around.
Curveball dumps in. Bear ducks and crouches, squats out of the way. As John getting the sign from deck, Sun creeps through again. On the ground, up the middle, Nick.
Yep.
Goes to 1.
Gets him at 1.
Gets him by a step, but Dakota County does score the run.
Ties it up.
We're all tied up, and the runner moves up 90 feet, just 90 feet away from giving Dakota County the lead. RBI ground out for Nolan Bayer. And Travis Schmidt coming to bat.
So Valnauka was going on contact, it looked like, there to be able to score on that play.
John steps off, wants to go through everything again. Haven't had an email, haven't had one text or a couple texts so far. That one misses downstairs. We'll have to check the live chat at some point, too.
Last I checked here a little bit ago, there was nothing. Still nothing new.
Well, we got some people watching. We'd love to hear from you guys. John deals. That's fouled back to the fence. We're all even at a ball and a strike to Schmidt.
Yeah, speaking of Winsman using the right side of the rubber, Marshall is on the opposite side of the rubber. Nobody's really using the middle.
I guess not. The 1-1 coming up. That one stays downstairs. And the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Schmidt flew out to Cooper and Wright, his first at bat.
We dropped down to 2 watching now. Are we having trouble with our stream?
I don't think so.
Now nobody's watching.
That one misses.
Now 2. That's
I don't know.
Weird.
No, we're still all connected.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough. The count 3 balls, 1 strike to Schmidt. As long as we under the fire ad and the clear, if you don't see a little triangle warning, we're good. We're still going. John Law missing downstairs. Schmidt aboard on the walk. That brings up Caleb Zoda.
So runners on the corners. Looks like Hesson's not really going to shift the defense too much.
Thomas Kellner going to talk things over. As we're tied up at 2 runs apiece here in the top of the 3rd. They're talking things over. Larks would love to get a ground ball for a double play opportunity here.
They definitely would, and it's got to be the right opportunity as well. So
Zoda did ground out in his last at bat up the middle to Nick Platten.
They're going to go double play depth, it looks like, up the middle. And they're bringing the corners in a little bit. Yep.
Burson's creeping in just a little bit over there at third base. Law trying to work down and away and misses to the first pitch he throws to Zoda.
And outfield looking like they're playing pretty much straight up.
Yeah.
Normal depth even.
Zoda, a little flare out there. Right field, Cooper making the play. Runner coming home. Cooper uncorks the throw. JD can't come up with it. And Zoda has himself a sacrifice fly and an RBI. It was a good throw by
great throw
Cooper.
By Coop. He had him. clean pick on the throw, I think we would have had him.
Yeah.
But as it is, Goulet manages to get across. And that's why you be aggressive on the base pass here and put the pressure on the defense to make the plays like that.
And they count one ball, and this will be, Trent Fredenberg after the fly ball to.
Oh, that was Zoda, wasn't it?
That was Zoda, yeah.
Whoops. Now my book looks like it's all messy.
That one went downstairs and misses. Yeah, sometimes every once in a while in my book there's a WW.
Wasn't watching. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
IDK.
Yeah. Runner goes. JD can't come up with it. And a stolen base for Schmidt.
Yeah. I give him a stolen base. That's not fielder indifference.
No, they were going to try and pick. They're going to try to throw him out, but JD couldn't come up with it. Curveball over for a strike to Fredenberg.
That was a nice little curve by the Marshall.
And the 2-1 coming up.
Another hook.
Hook comes across in our half, and the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now what pitch do you bring after 2 straight hooks?
I think I'm going to throw a fastball down and away and trying to get him to chase.
I like it.
The 2-2. Curveball. Or another hook, slider, curve, whatever you want to call it, works, and Fredenberg goes down swinging. But 2 runs across for Dakota County in their half of the third. They now lead 3-2. We'll be back after this.
We'll get it.
My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do. And that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Hesston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Hesston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Hesston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Hesston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently at Hesston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU.
I'm Roman Arnold from Dallas, Texas. I toured my dad's school, Texas A&M, and it really was beautiful, but it was huge. He talked about class sizes being over 100. I visited Hesston as a baseball prospect and never looked back. I got the chance to be involved right away, not only on the field, but as a part of the community. Everybody knows each other on campus. We're really close-knit. And if you want faith to be a part of your athletic experience, no one does that better than Hesston. I'm not worried about transferring. My advisor saw me out at
Josh Stivers to lead things off here in the bottom of the third for the Larks. Josh drew a walk, but then was thrown out at the plate in the first. A curve inside from Wensman.
Here we go.
Fastball downstairs in the dirt, and the count moved to 2 balls, no strikes. Excuse me.
I think we're getting a lot of chatter from both dugouts here.
Oh, we are. We can hear it a little bit.
I can hear it through our aviation headsets.
That one stays downstairs from Wensman, and the count 3 balls, no strikes to Stivers, and I bet that bat is glued to his shoulder.
At this point, yeah, probably.
There's a strike at the knees.
Oh.
Josh thought it was ball 4.
He did. That's one of the cardinal sins almost right there. You got to wait for the call.
So 3-1 coming up. Wensman misses on the 3-1, and Stivers is aboard.
I'll take the walk.
And that brings up Jeremy Deckinger. Walker runs out to talk to Wensman real quick, give him a word of encouragement. As the Larks now with their first leadoff runner aboard today.
That's true, yeah. And they've still somehow scored 2 runs. I wonder what the percentage of innings are if you don't get the leadoff runner aboard. How often do you score?
Okay, so the Larks yesterday had leadoff runners on 4 times yesterday, and scored 3 of 4 times.
That's
75%.
Right. That's right where it should be.
Dakota County has not missed so far yet in this series, getting leadoff runners aboard to score.
So they're due to miss.
JD fouled that one back. He's 0 for 1. There's a fly ball lifted to center field. Coming in is Von Alka. Von Alka with a long run, bouncing down. They fell down. Stivers was forced out at second base.
Oh, man. With that win, he probably should have been halfway.
He did. He went halfway and
No,
went
he didn't.
back.
He went and tagged up.
Oh, did he go back?
He went and tagged up and got thrown out.
So JD gets a fielder's choice out of that. And that goes, I think, 4-6 on the put out.
Was that 4-6? I put 8-6. I don't know who threw it.
I thought it was 4-6. It was an underhand toss.
Yeah.
And that brings up Joel Ogletree.
Because that ball should have just been a fly ball to center field, but you notice it was right at second base. But that's, as a base runner, to be fair to Stivers, I mean, that's really hard to read. I'm assuming he was following his base coach's instructions.
That one downstairs, then count 2 balls, no strikes.
I'll get the count on the thing right eventually.
Natalie Park listening while driving back to Texas. Go Larks.
Oh, she had to go back to Texas?
Enjoying the broadcast.
Right. Well,
Coop's grandparents, go Larks.
Yeah.
Streaming is working. It's raining in Minnesota. Can you send a little bit of that rain our way? We could use it. We could use it.
I don't mind the cold, so if you want to send a little bit of that down too.
No, it's
I'm not done for it.
Play golf
no,
and fish.
I'm not ready for it to end yet.
Time to play be warm and play golf and fish.
Well, it is March. I guess that's when we can start doing that stuff around here.
That's right.
The rain would be nice.
Count 2-0 now to Joel.
I think it was raining there yesterday too. I noticed on the radar.
Doesn't rain here anymore.
No.
That one misses inside, and the count 2 balls, no strikes.
3
balls, no strikes. Excuse me. Thank you. Joel singled in a run his last at bat on a nice piece of hitting through the gap on the left side. Joel draws a 4-pitch walk.
The Larks will gladly take that.
And JD moves to second base, brings up Cooper Morgan.
Best way I know how to score is get base runners on, and then score them.
That's good. That's astute. Absolutely astute.
It's a little Maddenism for baseball.
That's on the ground up the middle at the shortstop. Goulet, underhand flip, trying to roll up 2, and they do.
Yep.
Morgan grounds into the 6-4-3 double play. Larks strand chances. We've played 3. Larks trail 3-2. We're back after this.
Let's see.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living. And that's what we do at Heston College. We help people find that special calling, to find out what they were born to be and do, to figure out that purpose that's greater than themselves.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ. I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Or you run a guy out there.
And welcome back to Oswald Field. Yeah, we were talking about that, Phil and I. When they redid these bullpens, they moved the visiting bullpen out to right field behind the batting cages. Redid it. It's a nice bullpen turf
Oh, yeah.
down there. They
look
moved
really nice.
They fenced off the home bullpen, and they got rid of the area right here by the tarp along the right side. Step up, KT.
So in the group chat, we have a little throwdown to Rusty. When are we having that rib off, Russ?
Whenever KT is, when we have some time, because that's a fly ball first pitch swinging right side. Coop going back, and
Nice
Coop
catch.
tracks it down. That could have no wind. That ball's trouble
Definitely.
as Bergstead flies out. But that ball hung up in the wind enough to let Cooper run underneath it.
Still a nice catch by Coop. Now, I formally request to be involved in this rib off as far as I'll be a judge.
That's okay.
Because I know your ribs, Russ,
You do know my ribs.
and they're delicious.
Thank you.
So, KT, all right?
Fly ball hit a ton out of play. That one got up in the wind. This is Walker.
Let's see. How about sometime in April? I would have to think he'd do the rib off.
We can do the later, a little later in the season.
Yeah,
Things are
it's a
going to
little
be
bit warmer.
Doesn't matter. I've cooked
Not
when
windy.
I've cooked when it's below freezing, so we're good in that respect.
Oh, yeah.
Walker here, he's behind the count 0-1, and there's a strike on the outside corner from John Law on the off-speed pitch.
It's a nice pitch.
A change up for the strike, and the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. Walker, JD can't come up with it. Chunks it down,
There we go.
and the
He.
strikeout is recorded.
How do you chunk a baseball, Russ?
That's exactly what he did. He chunked a baseball. Marcus Biassani steps in. He
I
struck
mean,
out looking.
you could chuck it. How do you? I'm not a chunker. I don't know. I don't agree with people using that term.
Tough. Live it, learn it, love it.
No.
Swing and a miss from Biassani on the first pitch he sees from John Law.
Ugh, this
And the
laptop
0-1.
has dust all over
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Goodness gracious.
That's on the ground. Dryden Logan can't come up with it. Throwing not in time. Oh, they say Logan got it. I thought it was not in
Whoa.
time. The Larks may have gotten away with that one.
Well, I mean, they gave him the call, so.
So 1, 2, 3 for the first time today. It goes down Dakota County Tech. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
That was not even that many pitches there. All right. Well, let's get this ad up for you folks.
At Hudson College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living.
I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Like the ads. We're back.
And welcome back to Oswald Field. You can always say welcome back too. Don't be shy.
That's your job.
Hey, so I got a direct message from former softball player Jerica Brown here saying it's Chuck, not Chunk. And apparently Jerica has taken too many softballs to the head in that respect.
Hey, easy now. I'm going to have to agree with Jerica. You don't chunk.
Iowa.
You have a ball and you take a chunk out of it?
So here you go. And I did get a text. Thanks, Heston College, for the coverage of the game. Come on, DCTC, step up. So Dakota County fan texting in here as we're in the bottom of the fourth. Nick Platten coming to bat. And Nick can't lay off the inside pitch. They set a strike.
Being a homer, I'll have to respectfully disagree and say, go Larks.
As Nick struck out his first at bat. That one's a fly ball, right side, out of play.
Oh, I didn't hear it hit the CAC,
It landed
so
before the CAC.
it must have.
So Nick quickly behind 0-2.
Nick doing a decent job at shortstop out there today.
Wensman and Walker trying to get on the same page finally do. The 0-2 downstairs misses in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burson's on deck. Reinhardt to follow. Curveball upstairs in the count. 1 ball. Or
we call that an attempted curve, or that kind of curve.
That's our new thing.
Yeah.
An attempted curve. It's our new stat. It's a new metric. The 2-2 coming up. That one drifting too far outside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Aussie, Nick Platten.
So Platten really working the count here.
Payoff pitch. Too far in. Hit Nick anyway.
Yes,
Nick will go to first base. Nick tried to get out of the way. Just came too far in on that, and Nick gets aboard, a free base.
The Larks will take that.
And that brings up David Bursons. Bursons drew a walk, stole a base, scored a run. Larks trailing 3-2 here.
Telling you, we need to MacGyver a ground for this laptop with the buzz.
I know we do.
So Platten might be a threat to run here. He's got 3 stolen bases, but he's been caught twice. So
that one misses outside.
So all of a sudden, Wynn's been having a little trouble locating his pitches.
Yeah, there's a little action up in the bullpen.
Yeah. Which we're into the 4th. In a 7-inning game, it might be, if you can get him through 4 innings, that's a pretty decent job for a starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
You'd really prefer 5 innings if you can, but.
The 1-0 coming up. Curveball dropping in for a strike against Bursons. The 1-1 coming up. Bursons offers that.
He did.
And can't get the bunt down. And they count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So now I'm going to guess he's not going to try to bunt here. Got some chatter coming out of the dugouts.
Do with 1 ball and 2 strikes.
There's
strike 3 called. Bursons goes down looking on the breaking ball. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for the Larks, and 3 times the Larks have been caught looking.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings up Kyler Reinhardt. Kyler went down looking his last at bat. There's going to be a hole here in the clouds in a second. The sun's going to creep back through.
I see it out there to the southwest. It's been a while since we've had some clouds in the sky, though. So
runner goes, and
Nick,
it was a hit and run. The Larks do not successfully complete the hit and run as
They
Nick
do
is
not.
caught stealing. And that brings in Kyler Reinhardt. Reinhardt steps back in with one strike. As he was trying the hit and run on the pitch that was outside.
He swung at it as best he could.
It makes me wonder if Dakota County may have picked something up in the signs.
Oh.
Because that pitch was outside, and I think they knew the hit and run was coming.
It might just be the situation, too. You might, one out, guy on first, one-run game. Good chance you're going to put the hit and run on.
Bunt laid down, smothered by Wensman. Wensman throws over. Larks get the leadoff runner aboard. Nick gets caught stealing, and then they go quietly. End up going quietly. We've played 4 here. Larks trail 3-2.
My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do. And that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Heston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Heston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Heston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently a Heston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU.
I'm Roman Arnold from Dallas, Texas. I toured my dad's school, Texas A&M, and it really was beautiful, but it was huge. He talked about class sizes being over 100. I visited Heston as a baseball prospect and never looked back. I got the chance to be involved right away, not only on the field, but as a part of the community. Everybody knows each other on campus. We're really close-knit. And if you want faith to be a part of your athletic experience, no one does that better than Heston. I'm not worried about transferring. My advisor saw me out at least a half a dozen times the first semester just to make sure I was on the right track. I started as a Lark at Heston College, and I'm planning on transferring to a state school, Texas A&M. Giga Maggies.
Thank you.
We're back.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. Brilliant weather forecast. Windy.
Yeah.
Thanks. We caught up to that as we're on the top of the top of the 5th here. Mike Von Alka singled and scored a run.
My weather app says, hey, it's windy.
That one downstairs to Von Alka. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
The Captain Obvious weather app.
Good job, weather bug.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, I did get a text during the break from May Gerald saying that that KT's dad wants in on the rib off. Go Larks. So.
Oh, and by the way, it's Chuck.
It's Chunk, like KT knows.
You can't. Okay, so you can't take chunk and make it into a verb.
Yes, you can.
Not a verb, Russ.
You can do it. 3-0 now here to Von Alka. I know words, man. Come on, we know this.
So far, it's 3-1 with Chuck.
That one downstairs. So you're taking a person's name, as Von Alka draws the walk.
You're taking a person's name?
Yeah, Chuck.
Yeah, you chuck it. Like, I'm making a motion with my arm like I'm throwing it.
No.
Yes.
Goulet steps up. Goulet doubled his last at bat and scored a run.
We've devolved into arguing about
it. We did. We've taken a turn here. That one downstairs.
Nice pitch. Surprised he didn't try to bunt that pitch, actually.
Yeah.
It was right down the pipe.
Jerica saying she's from California, and they say Chuck. Well, that's Cali. Cali's its own different world.
I'm from Iowa, and we say Chuck.
And my point was just proven by that own different role. The 0-2 or the 0-1 coming up, they throw back as Von Alka diving back in.
There are some differences between Kansas and Iowa, but not that many. Two states with some of the nicest people you ever want to meet.
True. I'll support you in that, absolutely.
And we say Chuck.
The 0-1, fly ball, popped out of play. Count now 0-2 to Brad Goulet. Goulet 1 for 2. Struck out in the first. Did double and score in the third.
Yeah, real nice hit there in
Yeah, he did.
in the third.
He got to run for a while. He found the right field corner. Goulet lays off. That one was mighty close, but stays upstairs and count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That must have been
I think
inside,
I think it was a little high too from our vantage point. Could have easily been high.
It's hard to
It is hard to
gauge
see
the height of a pitch here from up here.
That ball fouled back and out of play towards the Dakota County bus.
We can get a real good idea about where it's at as far as the plate's concerned, but height, not so good.
As count now 1 and 2 to Goulet. Hard shot, base hit through the whole left side. Goulet has another single and the multi-hit afternoon. Von Alka moves up and Norman Byer comes up. Byer singled in the first.
You'll get it.
Yeah, grounded out, but got an RBI in the third.
And just kind of hanging out there in left field. He hasn't seen too much action, I don't think, out there.
As Byer stepping, getting a sign from his catcher. 2 on, none out here for Dakota County Technical College.
And the way the Blue Knights have been going, one of these guys is probably going to score.
John Terrat checking the runner at second. That one fouled back in a play over College Drive towards the potential practice soccer field. That one tapped back to the fence and foul. And we count 0-2.
Stone Marshall has a little bit of freedom here to play around with his pitches.
Two aboard, none out, and Dakota County leading 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Byer strikes out. That brings up Travis Schmidt.
Nice pitch by the Marshall. Didn't even mess around with trying to get him to chase something. He just put a pitch right on the corner.
Is my scorebook flipping all over in the wind?
The wind decided to mess with you a little bit.
That one tapped foul. And toward the batter's box. Minnesota checking in. Someone saying, they say Chuck.
I mean.
So Schmidt is 0 for 1 with a flyout and a base on balls with a stolen base back in the
So
third.
many things an Iowan could say right now about Minnesota, but I won't because I don't want to alienate anybody.
Yeah, tread lightly. Yeah, one coming up. Fly ball into the wind, straight up. Long run, Logan going back, calling for it, and makes the play in front of Cooper. Had a ball tracked. Good job by Logan.
He did. That was a nice catch.
And that'll bring up Caleb Zoda. Zoda sacrificed fly in his last at bat, scored a run, or drove in a run, I should say. Excuse me.
Yep. That ball normally would have ended up probably in center field, maybe in the gap a little bit, but with that wind, Dryden just had to take, 2, maybe 3 steps back?
No, he got
maybe
out
4.
there, but he camped underneath it.
He was roasting some hot dogs and getting marshmallows ready to go.
Curveball over for a strike from Caleb Zoda. And the 0-1 coming up here. That's downstairs. Good block by JD.
Nice block.
As there's Jacob Harris with a host of baseballs, foul balls.
What is
now
this
3
blue thing on his shoulder?
It's a type of self-massaging crane type of deal that you can work knots out on.
I could use one of those.
Yes, I have one. It's glorious. I count 1 ball and 1 strike here to Zoda.
Where do you get one of those? Amazon?
Find them. Oh, yeah. 0-1. Curveball
nice pitch.
Slips right in for a strike on the inside corner. And the 1-2 coming up.
Looking for some justice on this pitch.
That one stays downstairs. Yep. JD tagged him just in case they appealed. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Deuce is wild across the top of the scoreboard now.
It's a good pitch, though, by the Marshola.
It was.
See if he'll chase that.
That one too far outside. Zoda lays off.
Zoda showing a nice patient approach here.
I would probably be the world's worst 2-2, 3-2 hitter. I'd be chasing everything.
You would. Sorry, I made the scoreboard go away on you.
On accident?
Yeah.
Happens.
Happens.
Payoff pitch on the ground. At Platten, Nick has to go to first, tosses over
nice
and
play.
does. Larks forced Dakota County to strand 2 leadoff runners. The first time all weekend Dakota County hasn't scored.
Did. That is the first time.
So we
Good
will
job.
be back after this with the bottom of the 5th. Larks trail 3-2.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living. And that's what we do at Heston College. We help people find that special calling, to find out what they were born to be and do, to figure out that purpose that's greater than themselves.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ. I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Here we go.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field on the campus of Heston College. As this is Ryan Morrissey stepping in here in the bottom of the 5th. Morrissey lifts one towards center, dropping down, but hanging in the wind allows Von Alco to run underneath it. And Morrissey retired.
Yeah, normal conditions, that might actually have gotten down if the center fielder is playing at normal depth, but
this will bring up Logan Dryden.
Logan got on his first time up, scored, got on again. He's 2 for 2 today. Has an RBI and a run scored. He's been busy.
Logan fouls it back.
Yep.
On top
Here
of the
we
press
go.
box. Ow.
That was a nice little thump on the roof.
Was. Jasmine would have ducked underneath the counter here. That's her worst fear.
Is the ball coming in here?
Yeah. Curveball stays too far outside, even though Walker tried to frame it.
Well, I mean,
I think count 1 ball, 1 strike.
I will say, at the angle the ball's got to come in here, it probably would be a fairly hot ball. So
It
could hurt.
Actually, it has to be a little softer to come in.
Does it?
Uh-huh. The angle's just about right.
I'd say.
I've only ever seen it happen once, and that was during a Babe Ruth game.
That'd be real.
As a count now, 2 balls, 1 strike
odd.
to
Yeah.
Logan. Curveball over for a strike, and the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got some chatter going on in the dugouts. Enjoying it.
Logan lifts one right side, and that will
That's
bounce
down.
in front of
He's 3 for 3.
Bergstad, and Logan having himself a day.
Yes.
2 for 2. 2 for 3, excuse me.
Yeah,
He had an error. It was an error. They charged it as an error.
Oh, they charged us in there.
They did charge it as an error.
They did?
Yes, they changed it. Yes, I watched
Oh,
them change
okay.
it. Mhm.
Well, I'm going to say 3 for 3.
Officially, he's 2 for 3.
Yeah.
But through Phil's inflated scorebook,
The
Josh Stivers.
The Homer scorebook.
Josh Stivers is 0 for 0 with 2 walks drawn. And that curveball misses outside.
He's had some misadventures on the base paths, though, unfortunately. Had a tough time out there.
Yeah, he did.
Gotten thrown up the plate, and then that weird fly ball thing where he was stuck on first.
Stivers hammers one back behind the bag at third. Fair ball. And Stivers aboard. Dryden coming to third.
Smartly, aggressively.
Looked like Fredberg thought it might have been a foul ball, but it was not. It stayed in fair territory the entire time.
Yep.
He fielded it behind the bag and fair territory.
It hit first in fair territory, then it landed behind the bag in foul territory, but it's already been fair, so.
And
There you
Deckinger
go.
is up, and JD overdue as he's over 2.
So it had established itself as a fair ball, correct?
Yeah.
And then it went over the bag.
Yeah.
And then landed in I think it landed in foul territory.
No, he caught it right there in
caught
fair
it right on
territory.
the line?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was fair territory and
Well,
looked
good
for-
enough.
Looked for a sign, and by that time Josh was already down the line.
Oh, yeah.
For a little
Well, he
single.
caught it so deep.
Yeah, it would
and
have been
It was such
incredibly tough.
there's no, you would have to be a real slow guy not to make it on that one.
That would have been me. I would have been dead by about a week.
You would have, yeah.
That's okay.
Mhm.
That's a base hit. First pitch swing.
Nice.
Deck has a base hit, and we're all tied up as Jeremy Deckinger singles through the hole on the left side. We are
Well
all
played.
tied up, and that's
Yes.
a good piece of hitting by Jeremy.
Nice first pitch.
Didn't try to do too much.
Nope.
Just went with it. Short, nice, compact swing, and there's a base hit and a ribby for Deck, and we're tied at 3.
So all of a sudden the Larks making a little bit of noise here.
You have to turn that handle just a little bit. It sticks. Yeah. For some reason, the door sticks to the press box. Joel Ogletree coming to bat. Joel is 1 for 1 with a single and RBI. Drew a walk. Joel fouls one back, fights it off, protect himself kind of swing, foul ball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Russ, it's now 4 votes to 1 for Chuck because
Okay.
we had one up here in the press box. So the evidence is mounting.
Whatever.
4 to
We got
2.
one.
We have a Minnesota person saying we say chunk. So 4 to 2.
Who said chunk?
Minnesota person.
No, they said Chuck.
Oh, they say Chuck?
Yeah, they
Oh,
said
I thought they said chunk.
No, they said Chuck.
Oh, well, I will say kind things about Minnesota.
Yeah,
then.
you really.
I thought
really
you
botched
said
it. No,
they said chunk.
Get your ears clean checked.
Oh my gosh, I need to.
So
clear them out.
Joel behind the count 0-2. Joel lifts one. That'll be up in the jet stream, heading towards Canada now to play.
My apologies to Minnesota then.
It wasn't bad.
The thoughts that I was having.
Phil grew up in Iowa, if you're wondering.
I did. Hawkeye fan as well.
He was a poor soul coming to Heston College. We tried to save him.
It didn't work.
No, not at all.
No,
So
why would I change?
The 0-2 coming up. Strike 3,
Oh.
outer corner. Joel Frozen
He was.
at the dish. That's the
third?
5th
Fourth?
strikeout of the game for Wensman, but 4 of the 5
Yeah.
looking.
Not good.
2 outs for Cooper. Cooper grounded out into an Indy double play in the
Mhm.
3rd and struck out looking.
Like to see him get some redemption here.
We're all tied up at 3 with runners at the corners and 2 away. And the curve drops in for the strike. And the 0-1 coming up. Lifted, base hit
There's the
right into center field. Stivers coming in. Von Alka had some trouble holding it. Zoda cuts it off, and Josh might need to work on his sliding.
We need some sliding practice here.
Across the plate, Cooper singles in the run, and the Larks lead.
Good job by Coop, though. Nice piece of hitting. Drove him in from second. Good aggressive base running by Josh until the dismount.
And that might close the book on Wensman as the Larks have taken the lead 4-3. We will take a break as they bring in the relief pitcher. We'll be back right here on the Lark Network.
That's in college. I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places, and it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living.
I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Maeda?
Maeda, I'd go Maeda.
Maeda. Oh, we're back.
Dominic Maeda coming in tonight to hit, or to pitch, excuse me, we'll get that right. As the book closed on Wensman after 4 2/3. Giving up 4 runs.
And if we're messing that name up, we apologize. They don't give us pronunciation sheets.
Natalie drops the ball. Natalie Park said, "Proud Hawkeye and now Texas girl. Sorry, Russ, I'm going with Chuck."
Maybe
that's
knew I liked her.
South Texas accent. My dad, that's where my dad grew up, so that's where I probably picked it up. Yeah, he did.
See, that's where you're going wrong. You're picking stuff up from Sid.
I know, but what can you do? Genetics, man, genetics.
Well,
Nick Platten steps in. Nick was hit by a pitch, then caught stealing.
You spent an awful lot of time with him.
Yeah. I'm fortunate to have a good relationship with my dad, and how much fun the two of us can have together.
A little too much sometimes, but it's all right.
You know what? So what? As Nick takes a strike on the curveball, 2 away, 2 on here, and the Larks leading 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th.
Ooh, we've got some, not just chatter, screams and stuff now.
That one, curveball from Maeda, drops down and in the dirt. And the count evens up at 1-1 strike.
He's got his uniform is really billowing in the wind there.
That one downstairs, and the count moves 2-1 strike.
He's kind of coming straight over the top with his delivery.
I'm kind of surprised Jerica hasn't tried to show up and get on the mic since she said I was wrong first.
Well, she's welcome to come and
2-1 coming up. That one fouled back and out of play. Now the count evens up at 2-2 strikes.
I think this game will forever go down as the great Chunk/Chuck debate of 2018. No? Yeah.
Probably not.
I made him speechless. That's pretty cool.
No, I was just thinking about chunking myself down the steps.
Yes, I would agree. That's a chunking.
See, there we go. Good, we're good. All right, that's all I needed is Nick fouls it back to the fence. We're even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the deuce is wild across the top of the scoreboard.
But if you're actually throwing something, like with a throwing motion, then that's chucking it.
Aubrey giving me the dirty look. The 2-2.
Now it's 3-2.
And that misses outside. The count now moves full 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the wind picking up.
Just a little bit. I think it's screaming now.
Oh, yeah. Nick on the ground, gloved by Mieta. Mieta tosses over. But the Larks get 2. They retake the lead in the bottom of the 5th. Larks now lead 4-3 over Dakota County Technical College.
My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do. And that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Heston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Heston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Heston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently a Heston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU.
I'm Roman Arnold from Dallas, Texas. I toured my dad's school, Texas A&M, and it really was beautiful, but it was huge. He talked about class sizes being over 100. I visited Heston as a baseball prospect and never looked back. I got the chance to be involved right away, not only on the field, but as a part of the community. Everybody knows each other on campus. We're really close-knit. And if you want faith to be a part of your athletic experience, no one does that better than Heston. I'm not worried about transferring. My advisor saw me out at least a half a dozen times the first semester just to make sure I was on the right track. I started as a Lark at Heston College, and I'm planning on transferring to a state school, Texas A&M. Giga Maggies.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field. Rusty and Phil having a great time, as we always do, as we're heading to the top of the 6th. Whether we're wrong or right, whatever, we're having fun.
Having fun, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. We're wrong a lot of the time, so and we're
usually.
Yeah, and we can admit that and roll with it.
It happens on
Trent
occasion.
Fredenberg hit a home run in his first at bat, a ball that has not landed yet.
Yeah, that's still going. Heading down towards Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, that thing had a stewardess on it. He hit it out hard. And John Locke coming out to work in the 6th. Starts Fredenberg off with the curveball for a strike. And it's a deceptive curve. A lot of people are moving out of the way when John deals that ball. He's got some.
It's going right towards their hip.
There's a little flare at Logan. One hop. Logan plays off the hop, snaps the throw over.
There we go.
And retires Fredenberg.
Nice play by Logan.
And there's one away for Dylan Bergstad.
Logan just was able to sit back on that and pick it clean.
And did. He waited for it to come off to make sure it didn't hit the back edge of the lip. That one misses outside. And there is a little bit of lip. It was worse until last season when they resodded and redid the infield.
It got pretty bad there for a little while.
It was a face finder.
Yeah.
That's on the ground at Burzins behind the bag. Played off the bag, hits the bag. And going to is Fredenberg. And we'll see how they scored that. They scored that a hit as it hit the bag and bounced right over Burzins. And that'll bring up Ian Walker.
Is that he's on second, but is that a single or a double?
I'm gonna give it a single.
Yeah.
So Walker 0 for 2, grounded out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th.
You know, a little bit of sunshine wouldn't hurt to warm up the old hands.
There's a looper base hit in front of Stivers. Josh Lets it go to Nick. And runners at the corners with one out now after Walker with a single into left field. Biasotti stepping up, and Biasotti over 2.
All of a sudden, the Blue Knights are threatening a little bit here.
Wind still howling.
Mm-hmm.
And now Deck coming out, setting up the defense.
When 20 miles an hour, I feel like it's worse than that.
It's blowing harder than that.
It's way worse than that.
There's a little pop-up bunt that drops foul.
Yeah, Channel 12's app has it at 30 mile an hour sustained winds.
And the count 0-1.
Let's check out Weather Underground.
John's pitch that's popped up, and that will get up into the jet stream over the dugout.
Ooh,
almost
hit your dad.
The count 0-2 to Biasotti. So Biasotti now behind as with runners at the corners and one away.
Yeah. So in Newton right now they've got gusts up to 27. That doesn't.
It's blowing harder than that.
Yeah.
Biasotti chasing, and he is retired on the strikes. First base occupied. He'll go back to the dugout. And Von Alka coming to bat.
Well, Weather Underground's got it at 29 with the gusts. Sustained at 29 though. That's windy.
I think we got time coming out. Kyle going out to talk things over here in the second, or in the bottom of the top of the 6th. I'll get it right eventually. Sun creeps through a little bit.
A little bit of a conference going on here.
Yeah, with all the infielders up and
everybody
talk things over.
Umpire headed out now.
Kyle giving them a little sermon on Sunday on the mound.
Well, they probably made it to church first, and then, second sermon of the day.
As they're almost done talking defensive alignment with the runners at the corners.
Yeah, with 2 outs, this is pretty crucial right here. Top of the 6th. That runner over there at third is mighty important.
Yeah, that's the tying run right here in the 6th with 2 outs.
But you got 4 situations at second and first.
Von Alka, 1-for-1, singled and drew a walk, scored a run. And the curveball over for a strike.
Curve.
And John has not been afraid to throw that curve all day for strikes, or start at batters off with the curve for the strike.
No, not at all. He's been throwing that for strikes all day.
That's a little tapper. JD makes a play, but it's in foul territory.
So second strike.
And they count quickly 0-2 to Von Alka.
So the marshal going to work here. Make it easy on himself. Just strike him out. Man. So this is saying there's only a 20% chance of precipitation. I sure wish that would go up.
2.
For this evening. Yeah.
Could use some rain. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Von Alka goes down. Larks get out of a potential jam as we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Larks lead 4-3. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do. And that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Hesston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Hesston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Hesston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently a Hesston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU.
I'm Roman Arnold from Dallas, Texas. I toured my dad's school, Texas A&M, and it really was beautiful, but it was huge. He talked about class sizes being over 100. I visited Hesston as a baseball prospect and never looked back. I got the chance to be involved right away, not only on the field, but as a part of the community. Everybody knows each other on campus. We're really close-knit. And if you want faith to be a part of your athletic experience, no one does that better than Hesston. I'm not worried about transferring. My advisor saw me out at least a half a dozen times the first semester just to make sure I was on the right track. I started as a Lark at Hesston College, and I'm planning on transferring to a state school, Texas A&M. Giga Maggies.
And we're back.
And welcome back to Oswald Field here on the campus of Hesston College. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Larks leading 4-3. David Burzins, Kyle Reinhardt, Ryan Morrissey all due up here for the Larks.
The bottom of the order has done a little bit of damage today. Burzins scored in his first plate appearance.
Drew a walk, stole a base. As Maeda misses upstairs.
Just a little bit.
Maeda dealing. That one downstairs, bouncing right behind the plate for the ball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Maeda's got a real interesting motion here.
There's a strike of the knees to Burzins, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Coming straight up over the top like that.
2 balls, 1 strike, excuse me.
Yeah, that's two balls, 1 strike. Yeah, the scoreboard up there is wrong.
That one too far outside, and 3 balls and 1 strike the count.
Yep, it's 3-1. I don't know. There we go. Now the scoreboard's correct.
There we go. That one downstairs, and the walk issued by Maeda. Burzins aboard.
That's the second time Burzins has made it on board so far.
Kyle Reinhardt's 0 for 2, struck out looking, and grounded out.
So now Hesston's got that first runner aboard. There's about a 70% chance they score, Russ.
The pitch, as Reinhardt pulls back on the high off-speed pitch. He was showing bunt.
He was. Not a bad situation to try to bunt. They've pulled in the third baseman. The Blue Knights have.
That went downstairs.
So this is one of those situations where Burzins is going to wait till the bunt is actually down before he takes off.
That one downstairs again, and that misses, and now the count 3 balls, no strike. It might have been a little outside, too.
Yeah, it was not in the strike zone.
Yeah. As
Frendenberg taking a minute to go calm down Maeda.
that pitch misses upstairs.
There we go.
And Reinhardt aboard after back-to-back walks by Maeda.
All of a sudden the Larks got a little something going here with no outs.
It looks like Malachi Swartz coming in to pinch hit.
Oh, alrighty.
For Ryan.
Malachi, a freshman out of Overland Park, Kansas. Up in the Kansas City area.
Yeah.
I like Kansas City. It's a fun city to spend some time in. Good barbecue up there, Russ. I mean, not as good as your ribs.
Thank you. Thank you.
But the burnt ends.
Oh, you have
love burnt ends. You do
got
burnt
it.
ends?
Yes, I figured out how to do it.
You're holding out on me?
Yeah, well.
Okay, Russ. We're gonna have some words after the game here.
Okay. We're gonna smother them in sauce.
Oh, I love burnt ends.
A little conversation going out, as I think they're going to use this for some time to give another pitcher some time to warm up as Malachi stepped in.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, they are bringing a new pitcher. We'll take a break. We'll step back. We'll be back right here.
Let me get you an ad here first before we...
Here on the Lark Network.
All right.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living. And that's what we do at Heston College. We help people find that special calling, to find out what they were born to be and do, to figure out that purpose that's greater than themselves.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places. And it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ. I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
Come across and be cooking for 4 to 6 hours. Went, took a knife, got the burn ends off, cubed those suckers, boiled. They sat there and the fat rendered itself down. And Dad like, ooh, these are good.
Oh my!
And then had the brisket done so you could slice it perfectly down. And welcome back.
We're just drooling over.
Yeah, we're
barbecue.
We're talking a little barbecue here up in the press box.
Russ is telling me about some of the burn ends he made last time. Oh.
Yeah, I finally figured that out, how to do that right.
Your brisket, first of all, your brisket's really good anyways.
Thank you.
And then you get the burn ends off of that thing. Which is a Kansas City special.
I think if it comes down to it, if I had to pick, I think my favorite one to make, and I think the most impact that I make would be the ribs.
Yeah. Well,
but the pulled pork, I've never had anyone not like that.
Oh, your pulled pork is
with the homemade barbecue sauces.
Is that what you had last year served the team? Yeah.
Pulled pork and
the sophomores can attest to the quality of the pulled pork, anyways.
Yeah. Even ex-players like Carter Hahn, who's up here,
of course,
attest to the pulled pork that we served. Make a couple different barbecue sauces and make a Carolina sauce for pulled pork. Carolina-style sauce, that is.
Because we're
traditional barbecue sauce.
So close to Carolina.
But it just adds something to it as Malachi looks at the ball. So Malachi batting in place of Ryan with 2 on and none out here in the 6th. Lark's trying to add a couple of tallies to the board. Bunt laid down by Malachi. Only played a first base and just in time.
All right.
Play made by
who's the new pitcher? Antilla.
Antilla makes that play.
But
nice little sacrifice bunt by Malachi. And that brings up Logan with now the runners move to scoring position with 1 out.
And Logan with the hot bat today so far. Gotten on base all 3 times. 2 for 3 officially, but reached on an error second inning.
Logan fouls one back to the fence, and look at the infield. Infield in all the way, protecting against the run coming home.
They're on the grass.
They're about 2 or 3 steps on the grass at the
Goulet
corners.
is definitely, so is first base. Well, that shows you how important that run at
That's
third
a big
base
run.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge. Could blow this game open here if we get both of them in.
Curveball misses outside. From Antilla.
Mm-hmm. Runs the count to 1-1. A little bit of action up in that Lark bullpen, it looks like, or they're napping. I can't tell.
Suicide squeeze.
No.
And Logan couldn't get the bunt down. And Berzin's tagged out.
That's one of those.
Lark's trying to sneak one in. And he count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's one of those, I mean, you absolutely have to.
Get down
if you got to drop your bat on it, you got to do it.
That one outside run. The ball gets by the catcher,
right.
Walker.
We'll take that, though.
And Kyler scores on the pass ball.
Logan gets a little bit bailed out.
The Larks go up 5-3.
Larks happily will take that run.
The bases are empty now with 2 outs,
Yep.
and they count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Logan's going to swing away here, I believe.
That one misses downstairs, and we're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hey, I like the squeeze call. It just wasn't executed. I love squeezes. They make it fun.
I need to get the score right.
And you need to clear the guys on the bases.
There we go.
How about that? That one.
I've had this thing as a tie ball game for a while.
Well,
I'm sorry, folks. It's been.
We got into it. We got into the.
We got
the
into
game
barbecue.
Yeah. Josh Stivers coming to bat.
Oh my goodness.
Josh 1 for 1 on base percentage of 1 trillion today, as he's perfect. He's been walked twice, singled.
Hey, we're up to 36 people watching now.
God, we got people tuning in.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. Send us a line, drop us a line, email us. Go larks@heston.edu. Text us 620. As Josh lifts one again.
That's going to get down.
That's going to get down. That's going to go
Trouble.
for a while. That's out in the alley. Logan holds at third, and
Yes.
Josh has his second single of the day.
The Larks will gladly take that.
As I was trying to say, you can get in touch with us, 620-217-1465. Just text us.
Oh, yeah, we haven't given that information out for a little while.
Yeah.
If you want to communicate with. There is a live chat.
Yeah.
I do check. I have been checking that every so often.
JD coming to bat. He's been reached base 3 times. Reached on air, was on a fielder's choice, and then singled. And JD first pitch swinging
That'll get
behind the
down.
bag, first base, down the third baseline. JD has himself a ribby. Josh coming home. It goes under the fence. JD holds at second. They're going to
They're
send
going to
Josh
put him
back
back
to
to
third.
third. Yep.
But JD gets an RBI double.
Nicely done. Nice piece of hitting by JD.
And that brings up Joe Ogletree. And that looks like that's going to close the book on Antilla.
I think so. Going to make the Blue Knights run deep into their bullpen here. Well,
so they are bringing in a new pitcher. We'll be back after this.
My name is Molly Shervany, and both my parents and my older sister have gone to KU. It's kind of the thing we do. And that's what I was planning on too. But I loved the Heston College tour. I still remember my personal guide, Kimmy, and talking with all the art professors. At KU, I was in a huge group of students, and I didn't really get to see what I wanted. Heston College made it for me. Taking gen eds at Heston is helping me build a really strong foundation. I get individual attention and know my professors and everyone in my class. I like the personal relationships, and that's something that Heston offered that nowhere else did. With this foundation, I'll be ready to finish my major at KU. I'm currently at Heston Lark, but soon I'll be cheering Rock Chalk Jayhawk at KU.
I'm Roman Arnold from Dallas, Texas. I toured my dad's school, Texas A&M, and it really was beautiful, but it was huge. He talked about class sizes being over 100. I visited Heston as a baseball prospect and never looked back. I got the chance to be involved right away, not only on the field, but as a part of the community. Everybody knows each other on campus. We're really close-knit. And if you want faith to be a part of your athletic experience, no one does that better than Heston. I'm not worried about transferring. My advisor saw me out at least a half a dozen times the first semester just to make sure I was on the right track. I started as a Lark at Heston College, and I'm planning on transferring to a state school, Texas A&M. Giga Maggies.
And welcome back here to Oswald Field.
Have we figured out who's pitching?
Oh, yeah, this is Peter Grassel.
Okay.
Grassel from Lakeville, Minnesota. I actually put in for a job in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately haven't heard back. I'm guessing the position was filled, so
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Joe Ogletree's 1-for-2, singled in the first and drove in a run, drew a walk, and then struck out looking in the fifth. So 2 on and 2 out here. Couple of larks on the nest out there for Joel. Instead of ducks on the pond, we're going larks on the nest.
Larks in the nest.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a slow curve there. Maybe even a slurve.
And the 1-0 coming up. Joel hammers one. That gets foul on the curve as he waited on that, trying to find that hole in the left field corner.
About took out Josh down there.
That's why you run in foul territory.
Uh-huh.
There's a curveball over for a strike, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A little bit of off speed on that one.
And the 1-2. Joel fights the curve off, fouls it back to the fence.
Fought the curve off. He was looking to hammer that thing, though. Larks have an opportunity to add a couple more runs here.
And the 1-2. Joel lifts one, got underneath it. That'll be up in the wind. It's going to be a long run. And the ball dropping.
It dropped.
It's into foul territory, though. The ball drops down. Foul territory as looks like Goulet and Bayer out there colliding.
I hope he's all right. He's still on the ground, Goulet is. Now he's getting up.
Yeah, they ran into each other on the long run.
So, well, Joel has new life, though, with that.
New life.
Yeah. And that shows you what the wind is doing. That ball should have just been a lazy out to left field and ended up in foul territory, and 2 guys had to dive after it, basically.
They did. They count 1 and 2. Wind howling here as Grassel coming set. Joel now fouls one back towards the Campus Activity Center.
Now he's seen a bunch of pitches here already.
And the 1-2 coming up. Joel at the second baseman, Biasotti. Biasotti smothers it, tosses over, but the Larks get 2. They now lead 6-3 as we'll go to the top of the 7th here and see if the Larks can close it down. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
There is something greater than anything the world has to offer. Money, fame, fortune. It's finding meaning to your life, to find a purpose for living. And that's what we do at Heston College. We help people find that special calling, to find out what they were born to be and do, to figure out that purpose that's greater than themselves.
At Heston College, I really think about the logo as being centered to who we are. It's a greater than sign. It's an arrow. It's taking people places, and it's taking students beyond their worldview, beyond their comfort zones. It's about helping students be greater than themselves through an environment that is focused on Christ. I'm greater than thinking I can do this on my own.
I am greater than my fears.
I'm greater than bullying. I am greater than systems of oppression and confined ideas.
I'm greater than greed.
I am greater than being content with just a Sunday faith.
I'm greater than perfectionism.
So I'm greater than my former self.
So here comes the battle, the top of the order versus John Law in the top of the 7th.
The Marshal looking for some baseball justice.
Yes, he is.
Get that complete game.
As we're in the top of the 7th, John with a 3-run cushion.
And if he does finish this off, this will be his second complete game of the year. He's pitched a pretty good game, settled down after the 3rd inning.
All 3 runs earned today. Larks have not committed an error. As that one misses outside, 1 ball. And you wonder, Phil, with a 3-run lead, how much of a leash does John have in the 7th?
He has a little bit of one.
That's
but
on the
not
ground
much.
at Logan. Logan, off the back of the lip, the throw over, and
There
there's
we
1
go.
away.
Nice job by Logan.
That brings up Nolan Bayer. Bayer, 1 for 3. Struck out in his last at bat.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much the Marshal has left in the tank.
That one stays upstairs.
I mean, he is. If he's not the ace, he's one of the best pitchers they've got.
He's the number 1.
Yeah. So you're going to let him try to work his way through this inning.
That one misses downstairs, so I'm guessing we're going to see Kalen Haynes in game 2 for the Larks.
Okay.
Count 2 balls, no strikes to Bear. Fly ball right side up in the
That's
wind,
gonna
and
go
that will be out
way
of
foul.
play and
Long, noisy strike.
towards the practice soccer field. As much tail as that ball had, it might bounce and roll all the way into that drainage ditch back there.
It could, yeah. And as dry as it is over there.
So Bear now has 1 strike to his count, 2 balls. That's on the ground at Burzins. Burzins makes a play, throws across, and Joel
Nice.
stretches out
Well
and makes
done.
the play.
Nice defense by the Larks.
And that brings up Travis Schmidt. So 2 away here in the 7th. Larks leading 6-3. John deals curveball Inside
There's
corner
a
for a strike.
Nice. Starting him off, getting ahead.
The 0-1. That curveball
was,
skips all the way in. And we're even 1 ball, 1 strike.
I thought that was going to hit him. And it still snapped back in.
That curve drifts a little low
just
in the
missed.
count. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It was low and outside by a couple inches.
And the 2-1. Foul back.
Deuce is wild now.
And the Campus Activity Center.
Heard that thump.
The telltale thump.
Yes.
It's like the telltale heart. It's the telltale thump.
So you can bring up the telltale heart, but yet you say chunk.
And the 2-2 coming up. Downstairs in the dirt. Jeremy blocks that one down. I don't remember asking for your opinion anymore on this one.
You don't have to ask for it. I know you want it.
So we're full here. Big payoff pitch for John. Curveball downstairs.
Missed.
And Schmidt looks his way to first base.
And Schmidt's a dangerous hitter, though. You don't want to necessarily just give in and put one right down the pipe.
As they're going to
focus on getting the last out here and not cover the runner. Takes a big lead over there at first.
Runner goes, and no throw.
So fielder indifference.
Yes.
That is not a stolen base.
That does not goes down as a stolen base. Although I think John might have been able to step off and run over there and tag Schmidt.
He probably could have.
And the 1-0. Swing and a miss by Caleb Zoda, and the count now 1 ball, 1 strike. John deals on the curveball. Curve breaks right in there for the strike, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a beautiful pitch.
Really was. Pressure on Zoda now with 1 ball and 2 strikes. And see, this is another time when I would come out of my shoes. You could throw the ball over the backstop. I'm probably going to take a swing at it. Fastball outside corner, and that's a good eye by Zoda.
Is this why we didn't actually play college ball, Russ?
Man, that's exactly why. The greatest Babe Ruth bunter Heston's ever seen, but other than that, skill set was quickly deteriorated. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. You need me to lay a bunt down. I can lay the bunt down.
Oh, yeah.
You need me to swing away. No. 2-2 coming up.
Bad decision.
On the ground, up the middle. Nick plays it. Can't come up with it. And Zoda aboard as the Larks commit their first error of the ballgame.
Yep, I was trying not to mention that on air, just that they were errorless, but...
That'll bring up Trent Fredenberg. It looks like we may have a pinch runner for Zoda.
Yep, and looks like it is. Number 1.
That'll be Tanner Peterson coming in the run. Tying run at the dish here now for...
And you're talking about the leash, and you're still going to go with your ace here on this, I think.
I think so, too. I mean, there's a force here.
It was a ground ball.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything that the Marshall did.
No. So Fredenberg did hit a home run back in the second. They say he did not offer. Fredenberg lays off the curve. John is really, the later innings, Phil, we've seen John really work the curveball for the first pitch.
He's got good command of it so far.
There's a strike
There's
at
a
the knees on the fastball.
And Marshall's got good velocity on that fastball still,
Yeah.
it looked like. Especially after that curve.
The 1-1 coming up. That one misses downstairs, and we're 2 balls and 1 strike here.
Really trying to work the bottom of the zone, it looks like here.
2 outs in the top of the 7th. Larks lead 6-3. Tying run is at the dish, though, for Dakota County Technical College, the Blue Knights. Strike on the outside corner. And Fredenberg didn't like it. And the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes here.
Deuce is wild.
John, fastball.
Oh.
Just misses outside the count now.
Yeah, you can't ring him up on that one.
And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payout pitch. Swing
There
and
it
a
is.
miss. John
Well
Law
done.
with the complete game. And the Larks win 6-3. We'll be back in about 20-25 minutes for the start of the second game right here on the Lark Network.